Are we back? Is everything working? He put in chat. Welcome to the chat room. Welcome back. Welcome back to the No! I come back and that is what I'm greeted with? I never left it. That's an isolate move for you. I don't know what's going on with the internet today. I don't think it has anything to do with the internet itself. Big surprise. I think the router's acting dumb. Ever since the router went out a couple days ago, when I tweeted that, or no, oh yeah, it was on Saturday. I said I wouldn't be able to stream because of some internet issues. Ever since those issues, the internet's been weird for everybody. But it's back for now, so we're gonna try and keep going. The thing that you were saying about 15 minutes ago, something about protagonist with personality is better than self-insert with that other characters have to half react to. 100% agreed. 100% agreed. I'm trying to keep the immersion for those who be watching this later, maybe, if there is such people. By the way, hello. Hello, those of you who are looking at it later and wondering about my inutility. Like, it's a fair point. Everyone waved his sword. I think certain people on YouTube watch this series when it gets re-uploaded because people have been watching this on my channel for 10 years, as I had that midlife crisis last time I streamed this game. But yeah, the characters, even if they're not great characters, are better to have than silent protagonists where you have to assume characters sometimes. There are some exceptions to the rule for silent protagonists. I personally think Joker's a pretty good silent protagonist, or a silent protagonist done in the right direction. How far would you like FNAF to Markiplier? Oh, no problem, Ramirez. Thanks for coming back in to say goodnight. This particular stream, though, we were gonna be almost over because it is the 9th. We only had the rest of this day and probably one more, but you know, it happens. You know, the stream ending has been an issue for everyone. But anyway, have a good night, Ramirez. See you next time. I'll probably be streaming tomorrow. We'll be back to other regularly scheduled programming. I still have to do the grinding for Dragon Quest because I didn't want to do that, and I still got to do the grinding for Pokemon, which I am more inclined to do, but I haven't done it yet. Your patience teeth. But I think Joker is a decent, not a perfect execution of a silent protagonist, but at least steps in the right direction, but could have been done with a little bit more polish. But in general, I do think silent protagonists in this day and age should probably be done away with, because I probably would have been way more... Can we just not finish Dragon Quest? Well, the last stream got deleted by mistake because I forgot to export it. So, I mean, I'm that close, I'm gonna want to finish it. Even if it takes me only like an hour or less for a stream, I just want to have it finished. Just so you guys can see it and be done. I'm that close. I don't want to put that much effort into the game to quit right at the edge of the game. I don't want to do that. I did that with Golden Sun Dark Dawn unintentionally, and I don't even know how that game ended. I know it ended on a cliffhanger, so it wasn't something I wanted to jump right back into. Why go on without... I'm still surprised they killed someone in that game, though, and a party member, no less. In an unceremonious way. It's such a shame. See, that's the thing. I feel like if the protagonist in Dragon Quest XI had a personality that was better expressed, because there's not even dialogue options like Joker gets, or implications of his personality. You've got all these people in that game that bond around him, and they're not a great like cast. It's not like a fantastic A+ cast of party members. They're a solid cast, I'd say. I'd say they're above decent. They're good. I'd say they're good. And they work well together. But they would work way better if the protagonist had a personality to bounce off of. Like an early game, part of the game, like, you know, Eric looks good because he's doing his stuff and, you know, he's bouncing off of empty slate protagonists. But he would have done so well if he had a buddy to bounce off of. They're implied to be bros, but you don't get any, like, implication that that's the truth. It's your headcanon. You're telling yourself that they're bros because they're the first two party members and that kind of thing. And it's like, I like a lot of those characters. Like, I liked the Garfield. I liked Eric. I like, honestly, Rab ended up being one of my favorite characters in that game, Old Man Rab. Normally, the Old Man character, I never usually like the Old Man characters. And they did a great job with Rab in that game. Hendrik ended up being a really good character as time went on. He didn't start off great, but I think that was part of the reason why he ended up being good, because he started off as a villain. Joker, my favorite bro. Eric and what's-his-face is no Shulk and Ryan. That's true. I enjoyed Eric, but Eric is the personality of that pairing, and he can't lift both of them up himself. He can't do it alone, and they expect him to. They expect the supporting cast to just kind of fill in the blanks of what our protagonist... Like, honestly, you have such little self-insert with Hero anyway in Dragon Quest XI. Why not just make him a regular personality? You know, that's what I mean. Like, because he talks as a kid! That's what bugs me! It's like he talks... He has a full-fledged personality as a child! Why not just keep that? Like, that's what baffles me. If he was mute as a kid, too, that would have made a little bit more sense. But no, he had a personality as a kid, and he disappears. I don't know why. It's like, why do you do this? But, like, you know, it's... You know, it happens. It is what it is. I would have liked the game a lot more if Hero had a personality to be, you know, to feel concerned over. Warzone incoming. Who's my favorite Danganronpa protagonists? That's a good point. That's a good question. Now, to make it easy, to make it easy to start with, Makoto's at the very bottom. I don't hate Makoto. I just don't really care for him. He's one of those type of protagonists that, like, you know, I just can't get behind him. He feels too unrealistic to me as a person. Like, he's so unrealistic as a character that it's hard to attach to him because he's not a character. From there, it's a lot. I was like, starting from the top, I want to probably say. It's kind of the top or top two is kind of a toss-up between Hajime and what's his name? Suichi. So like, I don't really know. My opinion on which of those two is the best kind of swings from moment to moment. Sometimes I like Suichi more, but I feel like Suichi's not even the protagonist of his game. He's a good, well-balanced character, but I think part of what hurts him is his plot. Like, I love his bromance with Luminary of the Stars. I forgot his actual name. And his relationship with Maki, and his short relationship with Kaede. What is happening to my frames? Okay, the frames are back. I don't know what was going on there. And then in other moments, like, Hajime, I don't really care for the mystery of his talent and how I feel like there's not as lot of build up to it, but he's a more, for the most part, relatable protagonist, but even though he has kind of an unrelatable, bizarre finish to his story at the end. So, Suichi and Hajime kind of swing back and forth depending on my mood. They're both really good. Then probably after that is Kaede, if you want to consider Kaede in this conversation. I think for the very short amount of time we got to know her, I think she had a lot of potential to be a really interesting female lead. I did like her a lot. And I think but that's the thing. Her personality for a protagonist was so way more weirdly developed than most protagonists are, but that's because she was doomed to become a side character plot device for Suichi. But had she been a protagonist with that kind of setup, I really liked it. And then the only other one left in this conversation is Makoto's sister. I forget her name. You know, Mrs. Miyagi or Miss Miyagi. I don't remember her first name. I'm gonna consider her in the conversation being below Kaede, but above her brother. No, Tang. We had a cut interruption partway through. We were getting close to being done, and then the internet took a dump. Like, no, Kaede is not properly a protagonist, but just for the sake of discussion, I just wanted to put her in there, because it doesn't hurt to talk about her. Yeah, and Makoto's sister, better than Makoto, worse than the other two, and sort of, well, maybe in certain moments she is a little bit better than Kaede. I don't really know how to list those two. If you take Kaede out of the situation, Makoto's sister is third. It just depends on how you want to look at it. I think she has a very believable beginning. I like how it tied into the first Danganronpa, and the fact that she has such great growth of character and becomes a really good character by the end and not a unbelievable one like her brother is a really good plus. She was a really good protagonist, and her relationship with Toko through the whole game was like the highlight of the game. Outside of just Toko's personality getting such an overhaul as well. One might even consider Toko as like a half protagonist in that game, but that I'm not going to get into that. So that's kind of my thought process. I feel like the list is kind of weird because it's like the only thing I'm definitive on is that Makoto is the worst, and I can't decide on if Suichi or Hajime is the best. And then, like, you know, Makoto's sister's in the middle, basically. But that's only just because she has to be second to last because there's not any more characters to use. Because the other two are just that much better. I feel like Makoto's sister had Makoto's arc, but in a more believable and realistic way. In a way that actually made me attached to the characters more. So there, I guess, like, I think I personally am attached to Suichi more because for the sole reason that I actually played Danganronpa 3. I didn't actually play the first two, I only watched them. So I have more of a connection with Suichi because that's a character I went on a journey with personally at my own pace. So that and Makoto's sister. Same reason for her. I actually played Despair Girls. It's a pretty decent game. Oh, midnight time. That's true. Suichi, that's what I mean. Suichi has a weak middle part of the story because it starts, but for a good reason. It's because it builds up the supporting cast really good. I feel like in Danganronpa 3, the supporting cast gets very good character development, even for the characters that get killed off. Whereas I feel like in 1 and 2, the supporting characters did not, if they weren't the final cast, they did not get a lot of build-up other than maybe a handful of them. Which is what happens when some of the characters are literal death fodder, so... Like, I like Danganronpa 1 as a game, but I feel like after playing or slash seeing the rest, Danganronpa 1 is, like, just the worst of them, in my opinion. Because the cast overall was horrible outside of, like Sakura, Byakuya, Junko, and kind of Kirigiri, but I'm not even I don't even really like her that much. And by the end of things, Toko. The rest of that cast you can take or leave, in my opinion. In my opinion. I will agree. I feel like Danganronpa 2's cast overall has the best balance, like where no characters felt like they were horrible or wasted, for the most part. But they didn't have any completely amazing characters, or at least not very many, compared to 2 and 3, or 1 and 3. Personally. They really do, honestly. Like, that part of the cast really does carry the interests of the game. And it doesn't help that the fact that the villain of version 3 is literally only bad up until the end, because that's the whole point. You're not supposed to suspect what's her name? I forgot. And I hated it that I freaking fell for the villain! Why does this always happen to me? Why am I always attracted to the villains? I hate it. I just like blue-haired girls with you know, I'm not gonna say features out in the words on a Harvest Moon stream, but why does this always happen to me? Villains are hot. That's a problem, that she doesn't have a personality other than being cute for the whole time. I love the fact that she was the character I was banking to die every time, and only maxed her out first. Yeah, Tasumi, or however you say it, because I expected her to die, so I wanted to get to know her before she was gone, and that's not what happened. Murkrow was more attractive. I didn't mind her in the anime. I haven't seen all the anime yet. At the time I was watching the anime, I was around the time playing the games. I'm like, man, I just can't handle any more depression right now. I'm making sashimi, by the way, while we're talking. Wait, you trying to say the villain of V3 wasn't hot? I mean, I don't necessarily look at her and think, oh wow, that's hot. I think she's just, I find that different. Like, I think she was attractive and cute, not hot. Does that make sense? Like, she was a homey type in a way, but like, that was again part of the hiding. That's my opinion. We can't all be cultured enjoyers of blue-haired girls, Ice. It's okay, I understand. You're allowed to make mistakes. I even make mistakes about that on occasion. There are times where I think the green hair is the superior anime color, and on the right character, the pink hair. I don't know why. I just like the blue-haired characters. I've always have. That is true. I didn't like her as a character, though. That was the thing. I found it funny that her references were kind of funny from time to time, and the fact that she was just either so dumb or so useless half the time, I just kept asking, like, I just kept quoting Rigby from Regular Show, going, "How come you're not dead yet?" Every single time that a chapter was over or that a murder happened, I'm like, how are you still alive? And then it made sense why I'm like, this sucks. I have mixed feelings about the ending of version 3, though. Like, in some elements, I like how meta it is, but in other ways, I feel like going the meta route hurt the story overall that they had built. Because basically, when it turned that meta, everything that was built up meant nothing. Because, you know... Wow, thanks, Doki. Oh my god. What a way to describe it. Oh, God. Am I really that obvious? I try not to be. I don't put a character or a person's, you know, worth tied to that, but good grief. True. Rimtato was definitely more interesting than she was, especially because how... That's what I mean. It's like, that's the thing. When you make someone so unobvious, they become obvious, and that's the thing. Version 3's twists were not that great, but you're more like, when you're playing it initially, you're riding off the high of, like, you're in the moment, like, oh wow, that was really interesting, but you're only, or that was a really good twist, but in the moment. Because when you step back and look at it later, it's like, no, was it? This sucked. I don't know. The Danganronpa games age weirdly in my memory. It's kind of weird. It's like I like them as I'm watching them, but then when I step back, I realize, wow, this wasn't good. Now I understand about why the fans say the series is crap. Exactly, that's the way for all of them. But 1 gets it worst. I feel like 1 has the benefit of at least the plot being original from the get-go, and the villain being an actual legit twist was actually really good. The twist is I think the best twist was in the first game, because in the second one, it was Junko again. And then by the time they teased the Junko for the 3rd time, I was just about ready to throw hands. I'm like, this twist again? It's not funny. It's not funny, it's not clever, it's annoying. I was about ready to throw... I'm like... I was about ready to get angry, because I'm like, if freaking Junko's the villain of Danganronpa 3, which he has nothing to do with the plot, I'm gonna get mad. And I almost did. I'm like, this woman again. No, I'm not saying it didn't make sense in 2. I'm just saying 3 is where I was like, man, like, at least 2's made sense, but, like, I didn't think it was great build up. I feel like just pulling that out of nowhere kind of hurts the... I mean, like, the overarching story, it doesn't hurt, but, like, the individual story, it does, I think. I can respect that, because I don't really think being meta always makes for a good story. Like, it's great for a plot twist, but it's also, like, it just... Once you step back and realize that the plot twist undermined the entire story you had just taken in, it's not a good plot twist anymore. Also, I have not checked on the baby in a while. Does she need to have baby milk? Which one of these cows is making baby milk? I don't even know. Is it... Of course you went to sleep! Is it you? Nope, apparently not. I honestly... Game 2 had so many twists, I kind of lost track. Okay, it's not you. Okay, maybe the mother's not making mother's milk anymore. I don't know. I think sometimes when they do the over-the-top anime moments, I think it can sometimes hurt the overall product. I don't hate it for it or anything like that. Like, that's kind of ridiculous. Oh, you're the mother! Or not? Marble milk? Wait, I have been milking this cow this whole time. I am a fool. Okay, I don't understand. I don't know. Danganronpa's a weird... I don't dislike talking about it, but it is a weird subject. Why did this blank red? Is it telling me I'm not a cow? Fuck you, game. Okay, then. Let me ask a very, possibly difficult question for all of you Danganronpians there, since we're still on this topic. Out of all 3/4 games, if you count the spin-off title, but you don't have to, what is your favorite character and least favorite character? Singular. Not which one per game. I want you to actually have to make the hard decision. Your overall favorite and overall most hated character of the entire series. Like, I feel like a lot of people can narrow it down based on per game, but I want you to really have to think on it. Because there's a lot of good ones. And even myself, I feel like that'd be a hard one to answer. Hello, Lizard. My first instinct is to say Maki. Because Maki had a very good overall story. And character arc and whatnot. But I don't know if she's the best character. It's kind of hard to say. I also like the little gangster from the first game. I forget his actual name. And then there's, like, Byakuya. There's, like, a lot of good options. Oh, no, I meant to give it to you. Sorry, there you go, buddy. 6 or 7 worse. That's fair. I think my least favorite character of the entire series... it might be Angie. It could be... It might be Angie, honestly. Angie, I really, really hated her. Leon's pretty terrible. I don't like Yashihiro. Mr. Clairvoyant. I hate him. But I mostly hate him because... not through his effort, his impact on the plot, but getting to know his character. Like, he's a piece of garbage. Not that Makoto is really a great character to treat nicely, but I hate him for his, like, social link, for lack of a better word. Yeah. Good morning. The banana that I ate 5 or 6 years ago was really good. It was such a good banana. I'll never stop. I'll never have another banana ever again because it was that good. Yeah, he had a terrible human being, but not terrible in a plot sense. But I just don't really like him. I'm not sure if I can. Angie might have to be my least favorite. I might have to say that. I think I can say that with confidence. I hated Angie, like, so much. I hated her shtick. I know, but you won't give you money. Like, even early characters and some of the other Danganronpas weren't that terrible. Like, Angie, I just, ugh. Honestly, I just never got into Angie. I never did. Like, she was divisive in a good way for the plot, but I just, like, I preferred, in terms of chaos, I preferred the little gremlin, I forgot his name, in Danganronpa 3. He just did the whole thing better. I just never liked Angie's shtick at all. Like, I just never found it funny or interesting. Or... Because here's the thing. It's all an act. She knows it's an act. She just does it to manipulate people. So I don't know if that makes it better or worse. I don't know. That's just my 2 cents on that. I'm like, wow, your catchphrase is your freaking character arc. It's kind of the same reason why I don't hate, like, say, to switch games for a second, to just make a comparison, like Franziska von Karma from the Phoenix Wright series. I hate her fool and whip things, or her... I think those things are funny, but when it feels like it's your defining character trait, it's not funny anymore. So I'm so glad in the spinoffs and other later instances where she'd reappear, she had a nice, well-fleshed-out character. But in her debut game, it just was not good. So, like, just because she had a bad character trait didn't mean she was a bad character. And once they stopped making that her character, she had a good character. But it's like, Franziska was like the joke that wasn't funny. Because I'd done so many funnier characters in those games. Like, I don't need the villain to be funny. But I guess you couldn't go with the serious trope, because, like... Chihiro, least favorite, and 1 Hifumi. Fave 2, Gundam, least favorite. Mikan. 3rd favorite, Kaito, least favorite, Himiko. Oh, okay. Doki just skipped my version of the question. It's like, nah, I'm doing by game. Screw that. No, my girl Mikan. I loved Mikan, though. She's not, like, high-tier character, but I liked Mikan. I didn't really care for her fan service. I mean, as a dude, I can enjoy it, quote unquote. But I aside from that, I liked Mikan's character. She was sweet and adorable, though her freaking twist to villain sucked. Though I hear the anime explained her twist to villain, and it's kind of sad. But you don't know that right off. Hello, Marlin. I just hate, I mean, like, Mikan had some moments, but I hated that most of her character was relegated to just being picked on by what's-her-name. If I was to go, you hated the fan service stuff, yeah, I understand. That's an understandable thing. Like, I didn't necessarily hate it, but, like, at the same time, it adds nothing to her character. So, therefore, I can understand the dislike for it, because it's not a character trait. Flash in your underwear for the crowd, or worse, is not a character trait. I don't know how playing through it again makes it better. Like, I don't understand. Like, the thing is, I expected it from the get-go, so I didn't really see it as a twist. My thought is, why did she do it? Was it because she... And it's not because... I don't know. Well, yeah, by that point you understand the despair disease, but, like, you never know when it affected Mikan. And it's kind of... No, I remember. But my point being is, like, what did the despair disease do to her to make her want to kill them? Because here's the thing, and it wasn't even a surprise that she did it, because it was like, there's no one else that could have done it, and when the person she didn't like is murdered, it makes too much sense for her to be the murderer. And then it's like the other person that died in the hospital. Of course, you know, I don't know. To me, that just felt like it wasn't, like, the reasoning was better than the actual, like, okay, well... But it wasn't a surprise. It's like, it was entirely expected it was her, type of thing. I don't know. That's what I mean. It was, yes, it was, to make it simple, it was predictable. And that made it kind of suck. The reasoning in the end made sense, and I thought it was interesting and very sad and depressing. And it actually makes an interesting point. Like, Mikan hated being walked all over by people, at least the quote-unquote the real Mikan did. So it's like, what's, like she made a very, as a villain, made a very good point where, like, this is actually me. Do you only like me as a person when I'm not who I am? Like, it's a very legitimate point, but it's overshadowed by the fact that it's so obvious she's the villain that it's hard to sympathize with that character trope, because it's like, you know, that's not addressed enough. I feel like it's overshadowed by how predictable it was that she was the murderer. But at the same time, if it wasn't predictable, they wouldn't have been grilling her to the point where she'd have that type of thing. It was a sad thing. I thought it was really sad overall. It's like, it makes you ask a good question. It's like, yeah, like, you guys liked me better when I was this nice pushover, but, like, now that I'm not, like, this nice pushover, and I am who I really am, you guys don't like me anymore. Or whatever. And I'm like, you know what? It's a sad thing, too. Because it's like, we liked you better when you were someone better. Though, granted, I didn't finish the anime, so I don't know how much of that is actually still relevant or canon. I don't know. Yo, Gake, how's it going? Also, I guess to quickly answer the question, I think my favorite from Danganronpa 1, a toss-up between Byakuya and Sakura. Byakuya probably is the easy answer, because he is the most fleshed out character probably from Danganronpa 1. Least favorite character from Danganronpa 1, probably either, like, if I have to say definitively, probably, with all context in mind, it's like a toss-up between Leon and Yashihiro, but Leon just has so little impact on things. Kyoko's mystery element is not great for a character, but it keeps her interesting throughout the gameplay. Leon, but, you know... But I think I feel like Leon's an easy one to say is the worst, because he doesn't have time to become a character. But, like, at least Yasuhiro, while he sucks as a character personally, he doesn't actually make the plot worse. He actually kind of improves it. Your mom is such a good character. For Danganronpa 2, favorite character, probably... part of me wants to say Gundam. I think Gundam was good, but I think probably the little mafia boss boy is probably my favorite character from Danganronpa 2. With props up there to Hajime, but I feel like protagonist feels almost unfair. Whereas worst character in Danganronpa 2 is probably, if I can remember them all, who would I say is the worst? Oh, for me personally, Boss Baby. Yes, he's Boss Baby. That's a great way to describe him. Maybe that's why I like him so much, because he's Boss Baby. Well, Makoto is like the exception to that rule. But anyway, I would say probably worst character, for me personally, I think for Danganronpa 2 is Soda. And it's not for the fact that he's a bad written character, and it's not for the fact that he hurts the plot in any way. It's a personal thing that I don't like about him. It's the fact that his character, he's kind of I think he's a pretty awful character in a way where it's like, he acts like he's your buddy, like Hajime's buddy, for the first 2 to 3 arcs, or 33 chapters. And, but then, like, as soon as the possibility that you're the traitor is in, he constantly kind of hates on you for the rest of the game. Even when your innocence is cleared, he still has this stigma against you that you're the traitor the whole time. And he just treats you like crap, especially in the freaking Strawberry Grape House arc. Whereas Nekomaru really came through there. He's like, even with them thinking that Hajime is the bad guy, Nekomaru's still there treating you as good as everyone else. Which I'm like, one of Nekomaru's few good traits. So that's probably my personal opinion why I just dislike Soda. Because he just becomes a terrible person. Even if his character arc is always funny, outside of the Sonya bit. And he doesn't hurt the plot at all. If anything, he probably helps it. That's my defense for why he's the worst character. Yeah, and his Sonya character arc is not funny. It's not funny. It's not entertaining. It sucks. Though but I will say the payoff is great when Sonya starts liking Gundam and they have this tragic thing, and then after Gundam's gone, Sonya has this whole thing where she doesn't take Soda's crap anymore. So at the very least, while his character arc with that little character trait sucks, it has a good payoff at the very least. His free time events were fine too. Until he starts hating you. Other candidate for worst character is probably the Kimono Girl, because she has no good character traits. She is just a piece of garbage, not just to Mikan, but literally to basically anybody that's not Mahiru. She's like a jerk to everybody. Now, her character gets a slight defense, whereas she's like that because she had terrible, abusive parents, like really, really awful. And it explains why she's a bad person. But explaining why someone is a bad person doesn't make them less of a bad person. But at the same time, I don't hate her in some ways as much as Soda. So like she's probably right down there at the bottom with Soda. To me personally. That's another thing too. She gets the benefit of the doubt, whereas she could have ended up being better. And there was implication that maybe if you with her finishing her little social life events, that she could have ended up being a better character. But I don't think she was. I think she was a fine character to get murdered, honestly. Like, I didn't really see them doing a character arc with her, especially after Mahiru died, so. Mahiru was a way better character, and she had a pretty rough first arc, but her second arc made her... But I think she was good in her short amount of time. Better than some characters get. I mean, and then there's characters like Teru in that game where he's just a pervert. But, like, I felt like, set that aside, he's a mama's boy. He only murdered... or he accidentally murdered Byakuya, or fake Byakuya, only because freaking Nagito said, I'm gonna do it. So he tried to stop Nagito. He tried to save someone. So it's like, yeah, he's a bit too horny on main, but like, he wasn't a bad person. He just a little uncontrollable. I think the anime kind of made him worse, though. I will say that. The anime made Teru worse, but I didn't hate him, because... and at his heart, he was a good person. And now it's become spring. It's a new year now. And that means we've still got one more to go. Yo, what the heck is that? I didn't shake the fruit off. I hope the rest of the fruit actually came out. I don't remember. I'm not saying Teru is a great character. Whoa, they're just appearing on the tree. That's weird. That's really weird. Or were they there before and I just didn't see it? Okay, I don't know what those are. They're not apples. They're something. I don't know. Anyway, to bed. The Overlord of Ice. I love Gundam. Like, his character bit is kind of weird, and he doesn't get enough development until, like, the chapter that he dies, and a little bit of the one right before. I'm gonna save just in case, like, this is, like, transitioning into a new chapter. I don't think it is, because I think we have to finish one more year to do that. Gundam's final line was a pretty good send-off, I will say. Also, and to quickly finish, to bring this to a close, best character, I think, of 3. There's a lot of really good contenders for best character. I feel like, though, overall, in the most areas, I feel like my favorite character of Danganronpa 3 is definitely Maki. Like, a lot of characters of my favorites in that game have a lot of really good moments and a lot of good build-up and character stuff. And I feel like Maki's is, in my opinion, I think it's overall the best. She has the best amount of time to build up. She is, like, she's not really bonding with the protagonist. She's bonding with Kaito. And because which is in turn having her bond with you. So it's like, and her love interest isn't even with the protagonist, but it seems like it could be at some point. And it just, she has the best arc of despair and handles the despair the best. Maki might have to for the ultimate assassin / ultimate babysitter. I love her. It also she also kind of reminds me of a character that I was writing in my story, which I may rename at some point, but I had named her Karen. But the point being is she had a similar arc to Maki, so I kind of relate to that in a way. Why does everything suddenly feel like it's turning green? I need to change the light. Change the light, I mean the music. She looks so happy. And least favorite character of Danganronpa 3, there's a couple contenders of what I can recall, but I need to try and remember everyone from Danganronpa 3. I didn't like the sexist girl, or whatever her thing is. The girl whose problem was with men. I did not like her. Karen. Well, I named her Karen before the whole Karen joke was a thing. That's how long ago I had made this character, by the way. But, I'm tired of this winter music. This music gets on my nerves too, but, you know, we've had winter music for long enough as the only song. Least favorite character. God. Is it really gonna be her? I'm trying to remember all the characters in Danganronpa 3 and what they did. Oh no! Angie, sorry, I forgot about Angie for a second. Hard as that is to believe. Angie is the worst character in 3 to me, personally. For the reasons I had already went over. Do I have seeds I can plant? Summer to fall. Okay, so that's not this season. And defense of Angie. I feel like defense of a character videos are completely fabricated in a way. Well, not fabricated, but made in a way to make you feel sorry for a character that is pretty terrible. Even if she's... I'm not even putting Miss Potential aside. I just don't like her as a character. Like, I don't like her shtick. I don't... her arc, honestly, is the best part of her. Because, unlike... It drives the plot forward, you know... I just hate her. I don't like her as a character / person. I don't like her shtick. I don't really like anything about her. But I will concede that she is written well for the purpose she serves in that story. Basically brainwashing. She does that character arc well. But I just don't like her as a person, as a character. I think they did what they wanted with her well. I just don't like her. I think we need to defend some Gundam more. Because I think Gundam's a good character, and he has a shtick that he sticks to for a bit. Oops. Whoops, 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 sorry. But it's to literally hide how nice of a person he is. He plays his big supervillain role or whatever, but he's just a really swell guy. I can't think of what you're talking about there for a second. Also, man, you weren't kidding when you gasped about the fear of this topic, because, man, this topic's been going on for a while. Wait, when did Geik leave? Did Geik leave, or is she still here? My brain was too busy processing the conversation that I don't know. Because my brain was, like, half distracted between the game, Ibuki? Oh... Ibuki's death made me sad. I didn't love her, but she was a lot of fun, and it's a shame that she was killed. Good to still see you're here, Geik. I just assumed that you might be not interested in the topic, which is understandable. My brain was like, did she leave? I'll feel bad if she left. I think I mean, initial thoughts, I didn't love her, but overall, by the end of things, like, I definitely love her in the end. Like, looking back on it, but in the moment, I was like, you know, I didn't dislike her. I just didn't like her as much as I do now. To make that fair, understandable, Gay. I'll just wait. Doki asked a loaded question, so I apologize. I overanalyzed it too much. I felt like I had a question to ask chat, but now I can't remember what it is, because the Danganronpa went on so long.
Yeah.
Let me just pull up one just to kind of shift the topic into something else, even if it's not for very long. It's okay. What is a game or singular or game series that you haven't played or tried, other than maybe watching it or looking at some stuff on it, that you've wanted to either play or get into but haven't? Like a series or a singular game. Like, let me think. What was... Just for the sake of coverage, it's not the top of my list, but Halo was one. For me, mostly because of how much it has affected the youth of gamers nowadays, and how big of a game it was for them. Even if it's not a fantastic or a revolutionary game, I feel like it's a game that I would like to try some point, just to experience what everyone else truly enjoys about it. That's kind of part of the reason why I started trying, like, Final Fantasy, Dragon Quest, and some others. I want to experience what other people are experiencing and understand why they like it so much. Also, I meant to pull that back. I meant to go get seeds now that it's open. Silent Hill's also a series I've never actually dipped my toes into either, but I've kind of wanted to. It's just not one I've thought about in a while. Mostly because there's not really a lot of ways that I think to play the games right now. I might be wrong. I might be completely off base, but... Red Dead was something that was on my list for a while too, and then I played it and I'm like, man, it's been a sizable contribution to my entire year in terms of video gaming. Yo, I just got a notification that YouTube made me a copyright claim on my Rune Factory stream. Thanks, YouTube. You remind me exactly why I stream on Twitch. Or one of the reasons why. I'm not as much of the first one for me personally, but Red Dead 2 is an amazing game that I wish I had put into my life sooner. Splatoon is really good. I would save jumping into Splatoon until Splatoon 3 comes out.
Ooh.
So many opinions and also so few. I need you to give me the list of what's good, Vesta. I need to know. Please tell me. I please just what's in season? I don't remember what's in season. Oh my god, Vesta, please just tell me what's in season. I don't want to look it up. I get what you're saying. Like it eventually dies, but like the amount of, if you put in a massive amount of time into something, even before it dies, it doesn't mean that the time you had with it before it was still alive isn't worth it. Yeah, that's kind of what bugs me about it, is like, man, they put so much time into Splatoon, like, we can't charge them anymore for it, but we want to do more, so let's just re-release it again. That's kind of what it feels like. It's like, why give you more for free and prolong the life of this game when we could just sell you another one? Which is why I kind of wish they would do with Mario Kart 8. I can't recommend Splatoon 3 enough, but... Our favorite Miitopia characters? That's an interesting question. That's a very solid point, though, Ice. Like, if they like it for what it is now, they'll love it when more comes out, though. Oh my god. No, I don't even like you, Marlon. I just need someone to tell me what seeds are in season. Vesta, please. Alright, I'm just gonna guess. Aqua, obviously. That warms my heart. In terms of how they interacted with the plot, my favorites, well, we gotta have freaking Pepsi Man, obviously. It was great, Loki. Everyone was. It's like picking your best friend. I thought Bobobo turned out pretty fun. Pepsi Man was amazing. Danny DeVito was also amazing. I wish I could know which ones are which. Are potatoes in this season? It's hard to say. Even when I say, also Doki. Doki was great for the pure reason that Doki had so many different character arcs about her. And I loved it. Big Sister Eggman. Are turnips in season? I think they die in the summer. I probably could have had turnips planted. Are watermelons in season? They might be. What is pulling on my neck? Yes, I want to buy something. Okay, I think a lot of these things finish soon. Bobobo never changed, and it was not even a bad thing. Bobobo was just purely perfectly suited into his role that he never... Even when he changed, it just felt like it was the same character anyway. That anime stream where I'm gonna show you all Bobobo is gonna happen one of these days. I just need to get around to it. Melon to summer to fall. Oh, that's melon. Summer to winter. Summer turnips aren't good in the spring? They're not good in the spring in this game? Oh my god. Winter and spring. Spring and summer. Spring and fall. Perfect. Wish I could buy more than... I don't know if I'll need all of those, but, you know. Alright, bye-bye. Gake, what's your opinion on this? Very good point. I don't think Gake got to finish watching all of Miitopia, so I have to get around to re-uploading everything soon. It's just, I hate being out at my computer right now, because if I'm not streaming, which gives me the energy to deal with this cold, I don't like being out here, so I'm not at the computer much, which is why Spaces was going crazy the last couple days. Also, since I just noticed what time it is, I probably will be ending stream after this game day, and we'll continue another time. I'm just super cold. That's true. Space's character had some very good moments, too. The hard part is like how much fun, how much of the character's character is it, and how much or how much do we project onto them, you know? Makes me wonder. I feel like I would say Rimtato was good, but like the protagonists are always good because they have the most screen time. His personality. I will say as a complaint afterwards, it really sucked for gameplay diversity to have Ramirez and Space as the same class. Like, I didn't want to tell them no, I wanted them to be the character they wanted to be. But at the same time, I'm just sitting here thinking, like, yeah, but I really wish I could see what these other characters are like. What did I just plant here? Oh my god. I just planted the turnip here. I can't. Great, I wasted my money. Fantastic! I thought it was a tomato. Gake was pretty nuts too. Whatever, I'm like made of money at this point. It's not even a big deal. Party included. I love that when Gake was for the most part the secondary party leader. Like, I'm the sister of the protagonist. I shall take over now. Like, I feel like I know a lot of it was just us projecting on the characters, and I think that's fine too. That helps make it fun in a different way. Doki's various character arcs were always a blast. I don't know. I just enjoyed, like, honestly, I didn't know, none of us really knew Doki at that point because, Doki had only started showing up in the streams because of Miitopia. I don't think Doki was around before. So, the game also kind of, in a way, gave us a way to get to know Doki, too. So, which I appreciate. Like, you know, you met a good friend that way. Because at first, I was literally just going to make the last party member someone, just some random person. Because I'm like, yeah, I could have made someone I knew, like Frosty or something. But, again, I didn't want to bother her if she was too busy to come around. And, like, I wanted it to be fun about something involved. I would just kind of make someone like, I was going to make Joker or Morgana because of a thief character or something. And then Doki be like, I'll do it. I'm like, okay, that works. And I'm glad we did. Well, Bo existed because we were out of people. Aqua existed because I wanted to project my character into there. I just wanted to see what Aqua would do. And it was sort of a way to plug her character in existence as well. So it's kind of for selfish reasons. It's almost like an advertising campaign in a way. I wanted to indulge a little bit. So I'll be honest with you there. I'm thinking like, well, if I only get to play this game once, I want to have some characters in it that I wanted. And at the time, ow, I just hit my tongue. At the time, we didn't really have a lot of characters anyway, so I didn't know how many we were going to have in the long run. I thought, even if we had included Ramirez at the time, I didn't think we were going to be able to, other than as an NPC. I didn't know if we'd have enough. I was worried. So it was like, you know. But Doki's various character arcs made the experience a very fun one. Like her initial character arc was kind of just, I don't remember what her first arc was, but then when her and Aqua were in the party together and the love triangle happened was fun. And then Doki comes to the realization that Aqua was her best friend and the highest ranked person she was with other than Rimtato. It was like, man, it just had an internal character arc just clicked on, and it was hilarious. I wish I could have drawn faster. I would have drawn some more, but the mood left me. Frosty would have been a lot of fun. I would have probably kicked Bo to the curb for Frosty. As funny as Bobobo was, like, Bo suited his tank personality super well. It just, like... But at the same time, I also can't bear to see the party without any of them, because everyone felt like they belonged. Even Bobobo did, and he's more fictional and less real than than Aqua is, because at least Aqua's my creation. Bobobo is just an anime character. A nuts one, but a crazy one at that. I feel like Bo never had a character arc, and that's fine, but Bo always did something funny on screen, and I always enjoyed it for that. Also, his friendship with Ramirez was funny, because they were both wacky characters, and I thought that was funny. Welcome, you're so cool. Retire yourself. Retire is always nice. Make yourself at home. You want a drink? I'll drink. Give me a red punch. I feel like in the mood for a punch. Ugh, yeah, get crunk at 3 o'clock in the afternoon. You're emotionally attached to all those characters. I'm glad we had enough characters to make a lot of funny arcs. I just wish I could have projected more of my little funny ideas. If I ever get around to having the time to do a story. I kind of would like to do a story based on it to do all the ideas in my head rather than draw them. Was getting used to the team. I thought it was funny. Doki was like, hey guys, I'm here, finally. Like, I was just sitting behind, got lost in it. I was just sitting behind the inn waiting for everyone to show up. I'm like, Doki was literally in the dumpster waiting. Two just... Dude, shooting people out of cannons. But it never got annoying. See, the best part is, I love it. Like, when I get to show it to you guys, shooting freaking people out of cannons is totally in Bobobo's character, so it helped the immersion even more. Yeah, I definitely agree. I think Ramirez and Doki had a funny relationship. I don't know if I would say it was a romantic one. I think only Ramirez can answer that question, and he's not here. Because again, half of the story is us projecting what our characters are doing. So and I was projecting so much when Doki got over me, I felt like I had been tossed aside and abandoned. And I felt sad, and it wasn't even real. I had secondhand depression from something that technically didn't even happen. She became friends with Ram, tolerated Bobobo, and gained a crush on Ram. More mutual respect. Doki stole your girl. I thought there was an item up here. Where is it? Okay, I'm going crazy. It's not here. Oh wait, I think there's a festival going on right now. You can go in here and do this once a year thing. Oh, I might have missed it. Nope, we didn't miss it. Oh, hello.
Oh, Ram! We're just about to start our New Year's party! You're more than welcome to join us!
Let's do it. Man, I remember... Oh my gosh, the time when we noticed that she was cross-eyed was amazing. See ya, where's our son? I haven't played Tomodachi in a little bit. I have to look back into that soon. It came from the beautiful mess of the fact that Doki didn't know how to send me her me, and I didn't know how to make the eyes the way Doki did. So I just kind of settled on the eyes, and I'm like, this is a mess. I can't figure it out. And then it just turned into a happy accident. She has about the same eyes in Tomodachi Life, but they don't go cross-eyed. You just stole some out of my backpack. Look at him in the back in the corner there. The beautiful mess. I really hope Nintendo gets on that Tomodachi Life sequel. Or heck, maybe even a Miitopia sequel. My hands are starting to get cold. Well, not starting. I think they're getting so cold I can't feel the cold anymore, which is not a good sign. Is anyone here to play Territory Capture? I haven't played that this stream, and I have to do it at least once. Yo, here we go! It's Territory time! I'll play with both of them. Thanks for coming, youngin'. Let's play a game. Come at me with all you got. Let's do it. You hear how to do it? No, I'm very well versed. I have kids, remember? Dude, you can't have both corners. Knock that off, bro! Ah, come on. He made me work for that one. You let your guard down, son. Got a few more in there in the pocket. Dude, how? Just blocking spots now. That's it. We're done. I don't understand this game. Just you kind of just you learn by playing it. Really, you learn what works and what doesn't. It's hard to explain it. It's just really fun though. It's very simple, very fun though. Just remember, next time you're mine. Oh, you came for a game, did you? Did you come for the game? I was just waiting for you. Let's get started. Yo, become big and famous. Like, triangle's pretty. There's a lot of pressure to starting this game. Yo, they didn't like that. Don't do that. Stop that! Oh no! Wait, how did that happen? Oh no. Oh my god, I'm being destroyed! I didn't mean to do that. Oh well. Dang it! I've lost. There's no way I can win. You son of a biscuit. At least I'm finally on the board. I surrender, Casey. I can't win. Or Patrick. This is Patrick. Casey's the other guy. Destroyed when they made an anime out of Utopia playthrough. I would love that too. I low-key do want to become famous though. Sorry, I won this time. Maybe I got too serious. I'll play you again later. With an epic opening. I could give Bobo a character arc. One that the game does not permit me to have. Seriously, guys, one thing learned about me, never underestimate the limits of my imagination. Slap him with his nose hair. His afro pops up and then just goes, fire! Well, character arc is a strong word. I wouldn't really need to change anything about Bo. He just kind of works as is. I wouldn't need nor want to change his personality. I want that to be just the way it is. I just want to have more ways to express his personality. Giving him a character would be an insult to his character. That's a fantastic way to look about Bobobo, honestly. I think when I said what I said, it gave a completely different implication than what you guys were thinking. No panic. I wouldn't change him for the world. I love him the way he is. I would just want him to be able to do more. I already had a couple of ideas. I just need to get back into writing. Like I said earlier, I've been too obsessed with Hades to do much else in my free time. But I'm almost done with the game, so when I'm done with it, I can go back to being productive. Or getting into another game. Honestly, same. I feel like Sora, overall, didn't really have a character arc, really. Not too much of one. Yeah, honestly. And Sora had probably some of the most screen time because Sora was one of the few characters we had to completely rebuild from the ground up. I will say, and I don't mean this to sound negative in any way, I think Sora's character might have been able to get into a lot more shenanigans with the cast if Sora's character technically was identified as a female. Mostly because I feel like a lot of the girl characters instigated triangles and friendship weirdness, and like the amount of boy casts I feel like overshadowed. But I don't know, how many girls did we have? Actually, no, we still had 4. We had Doki, Aqua, Gake, and I guess Senna technically counted as a girl. What the heck? It didn't work. I think personality probably does more than the gender, that's for sure. But the weird thing is, Gake and Bobobo were both stubborn, but they did very different things. Like, Bobobo didn't do as much as Gake did. Gake had a lot more character moments. And me and Sora were both airheaded, but not a lot of things came of either. Designated Senna is cool, made up his entire character. That is true. But with someone acting like they were cool, but having all these self-conscious insecurities about themselves, and I just thought it worked out really well as a character arc that unintentionally happened. I loved it. Like, I don't even remember what... But see, here's the thing. Doki's character personality was airheaded as well. We had 3 airheaded characters. Sorry, no, I was laid back. Sora and Doki were both Sora and Doki were both airheaded, but Sora and Doki's personalities were like night and day. So I'm not exactly sure. Oh, that saves so fast. It saves so fast on the big memory card. Alrighty. So I think we've technically gone 4 hours, because this stream here, this half of it, was 1 hour and 23 minutes, and the previous one was like 1 hour and 40-something. So, I think we ended up... Wait, hold on. I think I miscounted. I think that's actually 3. 3 to 3.5. Well, no, yeah, it was closer to 3, not closer to 4. Whoops. Shots up, brah. So, that'll probably do it here. Oh, I gotta go do the music thing like I always do for the outros for this. I love this music. Hold on. Where's the other weatherman? We want to show off that there is a one that knows what he's doing if he shows up. If he doesn't show up in the next, there we go. That's what I do to Warm Front. But, so this stream concludes this year's Harvest Moon month. I had a lot of fun with it this year. We had a lot of good variety this time. And basically, aside from Doraemon Story of Seasons, we had a really good run of games. Like some would say Innocent Life was a little bit weak in some areas, but the journeys of Robo-Rim trying to pointlessly court the Vita was about the best highlight of that game, and that game had some fun of its own, even if it started off slow. Doraemon was boring at the beginning and turned out fine. Rim turned into an egomaniac. Sora was confused all the time. Those are very accurate portrayals. So, but we had a lot of fun this Harvest Moon month. Now, finally, now that freaking October and November are over, the themed months are over for now. I don't really have any holiday-based games I could play. I do have the idea of possibly doing this one game called Project Winter with some of the others, some of my friends and siblings, and do maybe a stream of that, because that could be fun. Project Winter's fun, and it's a good winter-themed game. But aside from that, maybe other than maybe another Star Fox game for like the spacey feel of December, I'm not sure. December. But there's no real plan other than probably continuing what we've got, and maybe if I can think of something fun. I may stream maybe slightly less this month just because of how cold it is out here. We'll see. I might have to just get a heater out here. But thanks for joining me this month for Harvest Moon month. I will probably be streaming tomorrow. I just don't know what I'm going to stream yet. Probably not Harvest Moon, because, I'm a little Harvest Moon out. We gotta finish up and get some... Exactly. I'm gonna try and get some grinding done on that. I might take the PlayStation to the house and get some grinding done. I might look up a strategy of how I should build up for the finale of that, and I'll get some training in on Colosseum so I can continue that as well. So we'll mostly be continuing what we already got going on, and maybe a little bit less of Harvest Moon. I might play some more Rune Factory though. That's different enough, in a way. Rune Factory was fun. If anyone didn't see it, would recommend it. Rune Factory was a bit fun. But and like I said, we'll probably come back as well for a Miitopia stream soon. To start tackling the post game. I have been mostly regularly logging in every day to get the tickets, so we should have a thrifty amount of tickets to spend when we do that stream, especially date tickets. So, but anyway, thanks for joining me for Harvest Moon month, everybody. We'll do it again next year, Lord willing and all that. But thanks for joining me this month. Hope everyone had a good Thanksgiving as well. I will see you guys tomorrow for something else. So have a good night, everybody, and I will see you guys then. Bye-bye, everybody.